What's up everybody, welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie and today we are talking about glass dip pens and why you should use them. 10 points, by the way, to anyone who can guess the combination of my t-shirt. So glass dip pens, what the heck is the point of a glass dip pen? Well, I've got a couple good, I think anyway, good points. The first thing is that they are extraordinarily easy to clean. You literally take your pen, much like you would like a calligraphy nib or something like that. You dip it in the ink and then you write. And then when you are done with that ink, you can just kind of swirl it around in a cup of water or something like that, wipe it off with some paper towel, and you are good to go. So I really like that because it's super, super easy to clean, unlike a fountain pen, which can take a little bit of time and considerably more effort. I think they're also beautiful. Aesthetically, pleasing. They feel amazing. They're really well polished, like glass. So they're very, very smooth in your hand. The designs are very intricate, something you can't really get in an average fountain pen. You definitely can, but you're gonna start paying, pretty high once you get into, some intricate fountain pens. And speaking actually of cost, they're fairly cheap. So I have two different brands here. This one here is by a company called Rohr and Klingner. This one is $30. And this is by a company called Gerber, and it is $28. Canadian pricing and American pricing are pretty similar. Canada, this is actually the one time that we're cheaper on this one. So most retailers in the States I've seen sell this one for $28. Wonder Pens in Toronto sells it for $27. So you save yourself a buck and you don't have to pay for shipping or, you still have to pay for shipping with Wonder Pens, but conversion rates or, possibly getting nailed with customs, which, oh boy, we all know about. So that's kind of a bonus for us. There are obviously a couple cons then with these in the sense that they are dip nibs. So you're going to have to constantly re-dip when the flutes of the nib, so these little kind of lines in here are called flutes. So when you dip it in the nib, or dip the nib in the ink actually travels up those flutes and sits there until you begin to write, and then it drains back down. So unlike a fountain pen, there's no reservoir of ink in a cartridge or a converter that will constantly have that ink flow out. So you do have to re-dip probably every couple lines, or every line, every other line. And it is a little bit inconsistent with regards to the flow of ink. So the first few words that you write are going to be much darker, much richer ink, and as the flutes run out of ink, it will get drier and drier. The plus side to that is it's a little bit more unique. It really gives style to your handwriting. It looks more rustic. So if you're sending a letter or anything like that, they're definitely going to know, not only is it a handwritten note, but it's a handwritten note, so it kind of gives that like old-timey feel. And depending on the pen that you get, because they're all handmade, they're not, just pushed out in a factory, the end of the glass can be a little bit scratchy at first. So you can just kind of work that out as you use it, or you can spend like 2 seconds with Mylar paper and you'll be good to go. And of course they are all glass, so they can break, which is a downside as well. But I think they are gorgeous. I use them all the time, specifically for when I do ink samples. So throwback to the last video that I just did on ink management, you saw me do a sample. So especially if you have like several samples to do, then it's really handy because you can just go one ink, write out a name or a couple lines, swish it in some water, hit it with some paper towel, and then boom, right into that second ink. So you can really kind of make your way through a lot of different ones versus like I don't know, an actual fountain pen where you've got to just like clean it out, or even if you just dip the nib, it will start to suck up that feed. So it's definitely a lot easier to use something like this. I don't think it's practical for day-to-day writing. I don't think it's practical to use just 100% of the time and not use anything else. But I think it's a really handy tool to have on you, especially if you are into different fountain pen inks. Then that could be a really cool thing. Like I said, I have two, so obviously I enjoy them. It would be even a kind of a neat collectible item as well, because like I said, they're gorgeous. And the Gerbon ones are pretty long. I mean, here's the top of my finger. But you can get smaller ones where the material in the front are all the same, but the material in the back is just shorter. But to be honest, the bulk of it is towards the nib anyways, so that's where the weight's going to go. And same with the Rohr and Klingner one. It's going to be in the front as well. But, so yeah, that to me is why I use glass tip pens. That's why I would recommend you pick up, just one to have on hand. Like I said, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of ink samples. So guys, that's it for me today. Next week you're going to have a tea 101, how to, use loose leaf tea. But if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you really like that video and haven't done so already, please hit subscribe. There will be new videos every Monday and Friday. And as always, feel free to leave as many comments as you've got down in the comments section below. I read them all and I answer them as quickly as I possibly can. Bye guys.